Welcome to Andertons TV. This is Guitar Paradiso. My name's Pete.
My name's Mick. Hello.
What are we looking at today?
Friedman amplifiers.
My God, these things are great.
Yes. If you watch some of the videos we made at NAMM, you'll see a video where Pete and me and Dan Steinhardt were in a room with Dave Friedman.
Yeah.
Getting fairly excited about the noise.
There's a guy called, what is he called?
Oh no, we can't forget his name. We'll put it on the screen. But
yeah,
playing awesome guitar and
rocking out.
Yeah, of course, Dave Friedman is probably best known for his take on the modded Marshall style gain. So that really kind of rocking heavy gain. A lot of the heavy players use him. He's got an amazing artist roster list, and he makes very fine sounding amplifiers. Two of which we have here.
Yeah, two. I would say. At the end of the spectrum, perhaps.
Kind of, I guess.
They're all Friedman amps, but you know, one is the Buxom Betty, which has got reverb. It's more of a clean type tone amp. It's 2 EL 34s. 3 12AX7s. It's 50 watts. It's one channel. It's got a little bright switch here. It's got an input which is high input and a low input. What you just heard in the beginning was low. Was in the low setting.
Wow.
I know.
It's not an overtly, shall we say, Fender or Marshall styled amp. It's something that kind of comes in at the end of Fender cleans and can do Fender type cleans really well, and then goes on into vintage Marshall-y type breakup. So
takes pedals really well.
Yeah.
Which is.
Yeah, well, we'll go through it in a sec. So that's the Buxom Betty, and the BE-100 is the kind of Friedman flagship, I guess, like a 3-mode, 2-channel 3-mode amp, which goes from quite clean, loads of headroom clean, to extremely dirty. It's got 4 EL34s. It has various tone shaping switches, which we'll come on to, but yeah. Let's hear some tones. Okay, well, shall we start? Shall we start with you? Start with some Betty. Yeah, start with Betty. Get some Betty out. So this is a 112 cap. 112. 112. Oh my goodness! The bottom end coming out of that is in this room is just insane. Come on. Anyway, yeah. So right. So turn it on, of course, and clean tones. Nice. It's got, I have dialed the bass up a little bit because I kind of like that. It's got pretty direct delivery. There's not a lot of sponginess on the front there, is there? No. It's very, very reacts really well to when you play. I'm just looking at the volume switch. Like the volume knob is kind of, you know, not even on 9 o'clock, and that is really loud. It's less than a third up, and it's quite loud in the room. I had to turn it down and put it into low mode because it was just. That is really loud. I'm just going to get up and have a look behind and see what I can see, because there is nothing behind. There's nothing behind. There's a switch for the different ohms, for the different caps. Yeah. And that's it. That's it. My goodness. That's me. It. That is it. It's an insane amplifier. That it's Matic sprinkled with Matic tone dust. Yeah. I mean, so it's got the 3-way bright switch on it, which we could kind of demonstrate probably. So if I just play like. So nice. Yeah, so that the bright switch definitely gives it a little bit more attack and punch and in your face, especially with the maple board Strat there. Yeah. Humbuckers? You want to try some humbuckers? Yeah, let's do some humbuckers, man. So I've got the a 2016 Gibson ES-335 Memphis. Nice colour. Good colour, isn't it? In Lightburst or something, I think it is. Beautiful. So we should expect this to just push the Buxom Betty a little bit harder. That is a proper guitar sound. Right, angry. Absolutely ridiculous. Sorry. JHS AT pedal on the floor. Let's just try that a minute. I'm going to turn the volume down a bit. Turn the volume down. Okay, just turn it on. Go on, play. Okay. Yeah, guitar was wavering a bit out of tune there, so sorry about that. But I think one of the questions that is often asked of what makes a good pedal amp is it's got tons of headroom to take the pedals volume and gain, and that was certainly the case.
Yeah.
That was certainly
and we're
the case
still
there.
only not even on 9 o'clock yet, and in low mode. I'll just quickly switch into high. Oh, well, that didn't make a difference. There's the hole. And put it into high, just to see quick.
Would you say not really a home amp, Pete?
Not really a home amp.
Not an amp.
Good.
Yeah, you're gonna need a pretty loud drummer and a fairly aggressive bass player to be hearing that on.
And perhaps like a whole brass section, 5-piece brass section.
Yeah, as a proper guitar amp.
This is a proper.
Yeah.
This is not fun.
Yeah.
This is. Well, it's really fun.
Yeah, serious.
But it's serious.
It's funny. I've heard these before, which we'll come on to. But before today, I hadn't heard that, and that is.
And I plugged it in the other day. I was me and Rabea was just having we were in the shop faffing about, and then I saw it. And I was like, I just want to try to plug into this. I'm like, what the wow, because it is. That's proper. Yeah. Anyway, Buxom Betty. Moving on.
Okay.
To what you've got.
Moving on. This is the BE-100. As I said, it's kind of the Friedman flagship amp. So 100 watts. Everything we said at the top. So just quickly running through it. It's got two channels and 3 modes. There's a clean channel and there's the BE channel, and the BE has 2 stages of gain. So I'll just quickly show you. That's the clean channel.
Yeah.
That's not a master. There's no master volume on there. It's just volume, and again, it's got 3 position bright. If you would be so kind.
I would be so kind.
It's that switch there. So. Cool. Yeah. So there's quite a lot, as you heard on the little jam we were playing at the beginning there. It's a really nice, clean tone. There's also an effects loop into which I've got an MXR carbon copy. So. Also got an EP booster on the floor here. It's just the headroom in the amp is astonishing. It can just take it. But, considering we're talking about what this amp looks like, that's pretty respectable clean channel. That's a better clean channel than I've ever heard in a plexi. It's not. It's not that.
It's not that at all. It's definitely. It does remind me a bit. I did have a 72 plexi, original one at some point with a little master switch in the back there. But that was you can't get these tones out of them.
No.
As far as I remember, it's a long time ago.
There's more. There's more brightness and presence.
Presence, sparkly, clean.
Right, moving on. So this is the BE channel, the first part of the BE channel. Now I've set it up as Friedman suggests in the manual, which is bass on 10, middle on 6, treble and presence more or less in the middle, gain at 8. So if you plug it in for the first time, this is what you get.
And we're in a 2x12 cab.
So I'll put some humbuckers on in a sec, but that's the. I'll go from the
there you go.
The BE mode to the HB mode. So also, should just mention that on the back there are some switches.
Okay.
Some little micro switches. If you pop your head around there, Pete.
Yep.
The first one is called Fat. And the idea is it makes the BE-100 a little fatter, as you would imagine, for single coils. It's currently switched on.
Yeah.
Pete will switch it on and off. And that works across all the modes.
Yeah.
The next one is called C45, which only works in the BE and HBE modes. Doesn't actually say what this does, so let's have a listen and see.
Do you want the fat on or off?
Leave the fat on because we've got the single
that's
coils.
on. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so off.
Yeah, changes the mid frequency a little bit, puts a little bit more top on there. Kind of makes it maybe slightly more scoopy, slightly more mid-humped. And then the final mode is something called SAT, which I guess means saturation because it gives a little bit more gain and compression and drops the level of the amp a bit more.
Yeah, we'll keep the other switches up.
Yeah.
And then I'll...
I tell you, that immediately sounds like when you've got a 100-watt plexi and it's kind of doing that.
Which they do.
If you've got a 50-watt plexi at the same volume, it's going to be compressing a lot more.
Yeah.
I want to hear that again in a minute with some humbuckers. Okay. So let's do that. Let's take this strap off and
take one of those.
Take one of these.
Tomato soup burst.
Which you may recognise as a Gibson Les Paul. Think on. Right. So now we're getting serious.
Yeah. Now we're getting.
So if we start in the so we're in the BE mode, which is the kind of tame bit.
So should I still put the fat on or fat off? Or?
Put the fat off. So the one on the right down.
The next one up.
C45. I don't know. Let's see where we like it. All day. Absolutely.
Flip, flippity, flip, flip, shut the front door, flip, flip.
Oh, hang on, there's another thing.
Is there another thing?
There's a thing called a voice switch, so let's see what that does.
Okay, let's do that then.
Which works left, darker with more mids, right, brighter, and a bit more bass.
I'll get myself down here.
Just here.
It's just here, so that's the third swing on.
Yeah. Can you just go into the compressed mode on the back?
Yeah, it's very subtle.
Yeah.
That's very subtle.
So we're going to just finally switch over to the compressed mode on the back.
Did I get that? I did. Yeah.
As you can tell, it's absolutely no fun at all playing that out.
It's not fun at all, kids.
No fun.
No fun.
Yeah.
You should not come in and try them.
Don't try those amps.
Don't try those amps, because you know what's going to happen if you do. You're going to want to buy one. That is the fact. You want to buy these amps, I want to buy them. It's insane. Personal favourite, for me, my playing style, would be this.
Yeah, me too, because as you probably both know, Pete and I are more sort of at the blues end of things.
Yeah, and poppy kind of thing. We can use that for loads of stuff. But if you want to rock out with your cork out, then this guy is insane. I can imagine that on a 4x12 or on a full stack.
Well,
it would be ridiculous. It absolutely would blow my mind.
Yeah. So the Buxom Betty is in quite a well-contested marketplace, isn't it? I mean, there's a lot of nice kind of amps in that world, but it absolutely 100% must be on your list.
Yeah,
in the world of high gain.
Yeah,
I mean that's got to be pretty much top of your list, I would say.
Yeah, it's up there, isn't it?
It's absolutely spectacularly good.
Yeah, these amps are high-priced amps. They're not cheap.
But hand-wired in the USA.
Exactly, all premium parts, all handmade, all this stuff, which you would expect to pay money for.
Yeah.
You know, you buy cheap, you buy twice.
Well, you can hear it.
Well, my good lord.
Yeah, there we are.
On that bombshell, again, I said it again. I just stopped saying that. All right, guys. Well, that was Guitar Paradiso. My name is Pete.
My name is Mick, and this was the Friedman Buxom Betty and the Friedman BE-100.
Yeah, we'll see you next time. Good. That was good. Great. Done.